Allah Rahim, Allah Malik, Allah Qudus, Allah.
Who did God worship? Who did Jesus worship?
The Father?
Alone, right?
You can say that, yeah.
Who do you worship?
The Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Oh, you don't worship the same God.
Well, I believe they're the same
What was
God.
that, X?
Just wait. You worship the Father alone, correct? Jesus worships the Father alone, correct?
You can say that, I guess.
Did Jesus worship the Trinity?
I wouldn't say he worshipped the Trinity because he's kind of part of the Trinity, but I don't know. I'm my bad about using part. I mean, y'all know I'm not trying to be no heretic, but so I don't know exactly how it worked. Like, I don't know.
So it's very simple. Did Jesus worship three persons?
No, he didn't worship three
He
persons.
only worshiped one person alone, right?
You can say that.
How many persons do you worship?
I worship three persons.
So you worship a different God. How many persons do I worship?
You worship one person.
Who's the Father? So I worship the same God.
You believe you worship the Father for real?
Yes, of course.
For sure. Okay, but
Just don't agree with the title you call him. The
worships-
identity of the Father is the God of Jesus, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
So
believe in
who
that.
worships the same God? You or me, as Jesus?
I mean, me personally, I would say that I worship the same because I believe that Jesus believed in the Trinity also. I believe he believed it was
No,
one.
I didn't ask you believe. Worship first. Let's deal with that. Who did he worship? Be honest, dude.
Nah, I'm keep it real, right? In the
Did he
scriptures,
worship the Father alone, or did he worship a triune God?
I wouldn't say you worship a triune God. I mean, 'cause
Okay,
he's-
do you worship a triune God?
Yes, I worship a triune.
You don't worship the same God.
But you know, I don't believe in no different God. I mean, you know, we don't believe that they like different gods or something.
No, okay.
But I get what you get
Jesus,
there. I get it.
Jesus didn't worship a Trinity. You worship a Trinity, so you worship it. Do I worship the Father alone?
Well, just because he didn't worship, like say, like I'm worshiping the Trinity or whatever, but however you want to put it, just because he didn't articulate that,
Was Jesus the best human example possible?
yeah.
Okay, as humans, the best thing that a human can do, the most honorific thing that a human can do, is fulfill God's obligation upon him, and it's to worship God, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so a man, in order to be the best example, he must worship God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, did Jesus worship God?
Right. He did.
No, he didn't. Not according to you.
Oh,
You
he
believe
said it.
that you believe that you have a better example in worshiping God than him.
When did he say that?
So I don't know how to put this word like this. It's a certain word. It's called univocal. However you say it. However you say it. But when you say God, or did he worship God? When you say not to me, you're saying like God only refers to the Trinity. It's kind of what you're saying, right? Or it only applies to the Trinity when you say God, right?
In order for someone to fulfill God's obligation upon them, they must worship God. Right? Who's God?
The Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Okay. Did Jesus fulfill that obligation of worshiping God?
I mean, yeah, obviously, you know.
No, he didn't. He didn't worship Father, Son,
Yeah, I
Holy
wouldn't
Spirit.
say he like literally was like, you know.
So you fulfill an obligation that Jesus couldn't fulfill.
It's a good argument. I ain't gonna lie. It's a good argument. I ain't got the answers for it right now, but it's a
Yeah.
good argument. I give you that. That's a good argument. That's a good one.
Hold on, Salah.
Y'all can let him if that's a
I
Christian,
guess.
y'all can talk to him.
Yeah, let me see.
So one sec.
He wants to pass
So
the
we
mic,
mu-
Lubiano.
So one sec. So Cam,
Yeah.
you agree that I, as a Muslim, worship the same God as Jesus, and you don't worship the same God as Jesus in the same sense that he did.
Well, I believe that the God of Jesus had a son.
Okay, that's fine. But do you worship the God of Jesus?
Yes.
Okay, and do you worship Jesus?
Yes.
And do you worship the Holy Spirit as well?
Of course.
Do I worship the Father alone?
I guess so. I mean, I don't know about Yahweh, you know.
I believe in Yod He Vav He.
But it's like
God
then
knows
again, it's like
Allah.
this is my my son, this is my beloved son in whom I'm well pleased. Listen to him.
He said the same thing to David.
This is my beloved son.
Yeah.
Probably did. I mean, but that's when we go back into the Messiah and the dual prophecy thing and blah, blah,
No,
blah.
but Messiah or not, do I worship the same God as Jesus?
Come on, Liviano, bro. You go. How I'm gonna say that? Like, it's too much other like
Do I
factors
worship?
to
Do I
it.
worship? Do I worship the Father alone?
I mean, I would say that you worship one God alone, but I don't know if I would attribute the Father as who you worship. Like
I believe in the Father. I believe in the God of Abraham, the God of the Old Testament, the
the
God of the
God of
prophets.
Israel, who called Israel
Yeah.
his son.
Yes.
I mean, God, dog, bro, like that's if you worship the God of Israel, then you believe in.
What does that mean? A nation is a son? Does that make sense? How could a whole nation be God's
Oh my
son?
God.
You
But
taking it literal, bro. These are just
well,
metaphorical
yeah, I'm not
statements.
being literal. Yeah, I'm not saying
The
that's.
Jews
Yeah.
don't even interpret it the way you do.
Well, I'm not saying that's literal.
Cam, so then you agree you don't worship Jesus. You don't worship the same God as Jesus. You worship a different
I
God.
worship Yahweh and Jesus worship Yahweh. So
No, you don't. No. Yahweh is three persons to you. Jesus didn't worship three persons. He worshipped one person.
but Yahweh could refer to the Father. Yahweh could refer to the Holy Spirit. And Yahweh could refer to.
That's fine. So you worship a different Yahweh from Jesus.
See, I'm not. That's a good argument. Obviously, I'm not about to be like, oh yeah, I worship a different God than Jesus. So I mean, that's a good argument though.
Something to think about. Okay.
Can I make it simpler?
What's that?
Does God worship?
Does God see?
Why do you have to think about it?
Nah, hear me
Why do
out.
you
Hear
have
me
to
out. Hear me
think
out.
about it?
Because it's nuance to it. Obviously,
How is
Jesus
it no?
took on
It's a
flesh.
no. God doesn't worship anybody. We worship God. There's a
But
difference.
God is the God of all flesh. We believe in multiple
You
persons.
heard that from Dog Logic.
It's in the Bible.
God is the God of all flesh.
Revelation says he still has a God even in the glorified flesh, the glorified body. He still has this God. Revelations, all over Revelations, he has a God, he has a God, he has a God. All over Revelations. This is post-resurrection.
It's
This
okay.
is in heaven.
It's just a cult, dude. Whatever.